Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
It's 156. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
And should we act like every other sports show and pretend like this is the saddest day of our lives?
This is the saddest day of my life. I can't believe Kobe's gone.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant is. That's the big news this week. That's before we start shitting on it, because I have a feeling all three of us are going to a little bit. It was sad. It was unexpected. And what Rich, you hit on it earlier. What makes it sad to me was his daughter dying with him, because I'm not gonna lie. Like the first thought in my head after I saw that he died at a crash, I was like, karma. But then I saw his daughter died with him, and then I felt like a dick.
Oh, I mean, look, he was 41. He's younger than me. You know, yeah. I mean, that's, if I drop dead right now, people are going to go, oh shit, Rich died young. I mean, maybe not unexpectedly, but still, he died young. Like, you don't expect to keel, he didn't keel over. You get my drift. You don't expect to be dead at 41. You don't expect your husband, your father, to die at that age. And I mean, of course, because it's, we have our celebrity worship here. It's focused on him and his daughter. But I mean, there was a baseball coach.
Like 9 people.
His entire family basically was on that helicopter with him. Like his wife and a couple of his daughters. There was the pilot. Until yesterday. Well, it was yesterday when I woke up that I saw that they finally released the pilot's information, because they couldn't contact his family. They couldn't get hold of him. And I mean, I guess because TMZ got the story, they were saying crazy shit. Like at first, Kobe and all his kids were killed in the helicopter crash, and then it was Kobe and Rick Fox were killed in a helicopter crash. And I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck is Rick Fox doing with Kobe?
I mean, that could be something we could get into too. I mean, could this be perhaps a defining moment for the media where we go, hey, can we slow the roll on being first? Because TMZ was broadcasting it before his family knew. That's fucked up to me. That's real fucked up.
Yeah.
That is a lapse in
that's
journalism.
more than real fucked up.
Apparently, I don't know how accurate this is, so take it with a grain of salt, because it was only reported on one of the sports stations I listened to. But there was a report that a few members of his family found out via their social media feed.
That's fucked up, if that's true.
Well, not only is it fucked up, but someone in that police department, they need some time off with no pay, because they're not supposed to release the names of anybody in an accident like that until the family's been notified. And I mean, I understand it's Kobe Bryant, but still, that's even more reason to keep your mouth shut. Because
even if it's Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, I don't care. The Pope, all right, the families that went with Kobe when he went to this game or whatever for his daughter, the other people in those families that weren't on the chopper knows that they went with Kobe Bryant. So if you announce that Kobe Bryant or anybody on that chopper is now dead in a crash, they're gonna know. It's not just a lapse in journalism, Chris. I think it's a lapse in humanity.
Yep.
Because you don't want to find out that way.
Nope.
That you're part of your family, a member, anybody, you know died in a helicopter crash from social media.
Well, I mean, look, this isn't just limited to a famous person. Okay, I have a friend. His brother was killed by a drunk driver. His brother's car had broke down on the highway. He got out and was looking at his car, and a drunk driver slammed into him and killed him. And it was the middle of the night. His family found out by Fox 2 showing up at his doorstep to ask him about the accident. And his family was like, they asked him, is so and so your son? And they were like, yes. What? And they're like, oh, you don't know? They're like, no, what? And so Fox 2 told them with a fucking, reporter, cameraman, and a news truck sitting outside their house.
And a fucking microphone in the face.
This is just... I
Turn the fucking camera off. That's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't know. I've never seen the footage. I don't know everything that happened. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. If they were rolling footage on that, like, seriously? What do you think? You're going to get a Pulitzer for that? No. Cut it the fuck out.
You and I have a lot of friends in the military. All right? If somebody dies in the military, ain't nobody know until the family knows. And how does the family find out? They show up full dress uniform, 2 high-ranking officers, and they express extreme amount of regret, and then and there, that's when that family finds out. Later, everybody else can find out the name.
Another thing too, Rich, you bring up the word footage. Did we need that helicopter video? Did we need to see that?
I'm almost 100% sure that's not his crash, because the video I saw of the crash site at like minutes, like that was for sure 100% of the crash site. It was darker out than that. It was foggier. That was clear as day footage. You talking about the footage that was posted in the group chat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a helicopter crash someone died in, but I don't think that was the one with Kobe Bryant. The land around where the crash happened didn't match up with the crash site that every news outlet's been showing. So, I mean, it's like...
I guess, for me, though, it's just this fascination of wanting to see people die. Like, we went through on this Sunrun Regimented, like, when we first started. Like, you and Jay and Aaron were... Like, there was a video of, essentially, a cop murdering someone in Central Park. Like, and I didn't want to see that. Like, what is this fascination that we have where we have, like... Why do we have to see this? Why do we even think that we have to post the video that we think, even if it's not the video? Why do we have to do that?
Before even the cops, back in Columbine, everybody posted the cameras from the school.
Why? Richie, we're going to say something. What were you going to say?
Same reason people go on roller coasters. Same reason people do go skydiving, bungee jumping. Death terrifies and fascinates people. It's like if you've ever had a cat that's terrified of water, but the minute you get in the shower, the cat's also fascinated by it. But if you were to put that cat in the shower, that cat would rip you apart trying to get out that shower.
Yeah, the cat's looking at you like, "Oh my God, it's all over you."
I mean, it sounds like I'm being rather cavalier with the comparison, but it's the truth. I mean, death is the one thing that everybody has a sick fascination with and is terrified of.
Well, it's because everybody on the planet has it in common. Every single person is going to die.
Absolutely.
At some point. So we want to see, well, what happens if we were on there? If we were on that chopper? What happens if we were in that school? What happens if we were in Central Park that day? That type of shit.
And I think a lot of people have this fantasy that in today's society, I'm just going to go peacefully in my sleep. I'll just go to sleep and won't wake up. It's not really how death comes for a lot of people. There's a lot of pain and terror at the end of life. And, you hear stories about people who just accept that they're dying, like, as they're taking their last breath. I think that's a lot of wishful thinking, because I've been around and talked to enough people who've been around people who took their last breath, The majority don't go out that way.
Yeah, but you want to give that facade that it's they were strong to the end.
I mean, here's the fucked up thing. This is kind of the same situation. Apparently, it was a very high fog situation. It's the same type of situation that killed Stevie Ray Vaughan in the helicopter he was in. They slammed into a side of a man-made ski mountain coming out of East Troy, Wisconsin. Same situation. Well, it was more of an ice situation with Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and all them guys. But I mean, the best thing you can hope for is that
Bon Jovi out Chopper. Damn it.
The best thing you can hope for, I guess, if you're their family, is that they just slammed into the ground. They had no idea what was going on. In their last moments, they weren't, clutching each other and screaming in terror because they knew what was coming.
They did know what was coming. The news reports say that the tower said that they were still too low for flying traffic. So he made a steep climb to 2,500 feet, and then the next thing you know, a straight nosedive straight into the ground. So everybody is speculating what happened. What are they doing in the chopper? Is Kobe holding his daughter? Is he like freaking the fuck out?
Yeah, all I got to say to that is, what would you do if your 13-year-old daughter was in a helicopter and you thought for possibly this was going to be the end, you were going to die? What would you do? There's your answer.
And start praying, because that's all you really can do.
Tell her I love her, hug her, and fucking. What are you gonna do? Fuck it. You're gonna die. It's hug her, tell her you love her. It's it. And probably scream in terror together. You want my honest answer?
I mean, look, God knows that I have a sense of humor that's like a black hole. It's so fucking black, even light doesn't escape it, okay? And believe me, I've cracked a few jokes about this situation with people who have like-minded senses of humor. If you can't find humor in it, fine. I don't fault you. But, understand that the people that laugh at this type of shit most of the time are doing it because it's the same reason soldiers laugh about the shit that they see in combat and surgeons and morticians have the type of humor they have. It's because they're dealing with this shit, and it's sometimes humor is the only way you can deal with it. I mean,
you just don't want it to drag you down.
But you two don't have kids. I wouldn't want to. I can't imagine what it'd be like to be on a helicopter with my daughter, knowing it's going down, and she's looking to me like, "Tell me everything's going to be all right." I'm not that guy.
Something.
I'm not that guy. I'm not going to, I don't tell people everything's going to be all right when it's fucking not going to be all right. I don't make a habit of lying to my own fucking family, let alone other people.
Right. And
it's not going to be all right. We're going to fucking die, but I can't say that.
Right. But moreover, it's Kobe Bryant. He is a god of basketball, and she's known that her whole life. He is the man. He was up there because he is the man. They weren't supposed to be flying in that condition, but he's the man, so he could go anywhere he wants, whenever he wants. So she's looking at him, telling me, make it okay. Stop this. And all of a sudden, God has no power.
Well, I mean,
so it's more than a normal guy like you.
We are now beyond speculation, and we're writing history that we don't even know if it actually happened. Okay, because you're assuming that this child was looking at her father going, "Oh, you're Kobe Bryant, make everything better." When if you've ever known kids, they don't. You're Michael Jordan's kid. You're 13. You don't give a fuck your father's Michael Jordan. He's the asshole who told you to go to bed when you didn't want to. All right. Dave Chappelle had a whole bit about it. He's like, I got a 13-year-old son. You know who he loves? Nick Cannon. He thinks he's hilarious. He thinks I'm an asshole and I'm an idiot and I'm not funny at all. That's Dave Chappelle. So, let's look. You want to sit here and play the what if game and write all this fan fiction for your headcanon for this situation? That's fine. I have really no interest in doing it. There's a lot more reality around this situation that I think would be more interesting to talk about than us speculating what was going on at the last few seconds. And I'm sorry I brought it
well,
up. 'Cause I
totally agree.
really just brought it. I really just brought it up to point out that that's why some people are laughing at this. Some people are horrified to the point where they don't want to talk about it because that's how they deal with shit like this. If you've ever lost someone in your family and you have a big enough family and been to a funeral, you understand there is a wide spectrum of how people deal with this shit. Some people don't want to talk about it. Some people want to talk about it incessantly. Some people want to crack jokes. Other people want to act like everything's fine. Shit, I got family members that they think if they just start feeding everybody that everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, how the fuck does food make the situation better? But that's how they feel.
That's how they deal. Yeah.
It's called comfort food. I'm just saying. Look, one of the things I did take away from this is you can be too rich. That question was answered there.
Oh, well, do you know why he had the helicopter? It wasn't because he's like, I'm Kobe Bryant and I have a ton of money. Do you know why he was using a helicopter?
Okay.
He was sitting in traffic one day and he missed one of his daughter's school plays. And he said, fuck this. So that's when he got the helicopter. So that instead of sitting in traffic for hours in LA, I can get wherever I need to go in 15 minutes.
I understand that. However, he wasn't supposed to be flying.
He wasn't a pilot.
No, I get what you're
the
saying.
Go ahead.
I've heard reports that, yes, they were advised not to take off with the conditions being what they were. Okay. And if Kobe Bryant's paying a private pilot and he's signing your checks and he tells you to take off, how many people, especially pilots, let's be honest, pilots tend to be a little bit cocky, a little bit more confident of their abilities than maybe they should be. Oh, I got this. I mean, we've heard stories like this happen before. Aaliyah, or not? Was it? No, not Aaliyah.
No, it was Aaliyah.
Aaliyah that
they overloaded the plane? They didn't want to be late.
And yeah, they were. Oh, there you go. I look. No matter what happened,
for me, it wasn't that he had a helicopter, Chris. For me, it was he shouldn't have been in the air with that helicopter.
It sounds like you're going, well, that's what he gets for having a helicopter. Like that's kind of how it came off.
Well, not that he had a helicopter. He could have had a jet for all I give a damn. The people were told that with the conditions of the way, the surrounding area, they should wait.
I guess.
But like you said, it's his daughter's basketball game, yada, yada, yada. He wasn't going to be late.
Now I feel like I got to play the role of Rich here and step in and say, what you're saying is all alleged. The investigation, they're saying it's going to take like a year. So a lot of the stuff that's going around right now is like a shitty game of telephone. But were they told not to fly? Did he tell them like all that stuff? I just wanted to throw allegedly on it. Not trying to shit on what you're saying. I just wanted to throw allegedly.
Here's the bottom line, Chris. If it was me or you, we wouldn't have been in the air. That's it.
How do you know?
We don't have that much money, dog.
Well, in this fantasy where you and I have a private helicopter, how do you know we don't go, hey, fuck you, I want to get there, just fly. Anyway, we're getting into speculation. So, but I want to talk about how it seems like Jesus Christ came back to Earth and died with the way a lot of the media is reacting. Like, he was a big deal. He was a huge influence.
I want to preface that with when he was accused of rape. Ever since then, everybody hated Kobe. Everybody. Fuck Kobe. Rapist, adulterist.
Wait, a podcast I listened to brought up a good point. Until this crash, one of the first things that pops in your head when you said the name Kobe Bryant was rapist.
And now all of a sudden, oh, poor Kobe and his daughter and everybody else. Oh, okay, yeah, it was a sad day, but he was a rapist a minute ago.
He probably raped somebody. We are forgetting that.
Well, unfortunately, this is a reality of celebrity worship. We've went through it before countless times. Think back to 11 years ago when Michael Jackson died.
Oh, yeah. It was like, for like a week, it was like a national fucking holiday.
I mean, his funeral was broadcast like the O.J. Simpson trial. Every channel carried his funeral live. All these musicians and people who would have walked very quickly to put distance between him while he was still alive and themselves all of a sudden came out for his funeral. And it's the sad reality of and it's not just celebrity worship. People like to think that death makes angels of us all. The problem is that most people who like to point out that that's just not reality are insufferable, cocksucking, motherfucking piece of shit assholes. They're the ones that like to go around shitting and pissing on everybody's cereal because they're real life trolls. They're miserable fucking people who just want to tear somebody down for the fuck of it. Not because they even believe that that person needs to be torn down, just to piss other people off. I mean, case in point, if you know anything about the comedy world, you've heard of Ari Shaffir before. If you don't, to give you an idea of the type of shit he does, he had a YouTube channel, I don't know if it's still up, with a series called The Amazing Racist, where he would do shit like dress up in a Klan robe and go into a like black-owned business talking about how do I get stains out of this, offering black people free rides back to Africa on a beach, on a boat that was on the beach, shit like that. So his whole thing is to be in your face and confrontational. It wasn't even more than 2 hours after it was announced. I don't even know if it had been confirmed. 2 hours after it had been confirmed that Kobe Bryant was dead, he goes on Twitter and makes a video, says, oh, too bad this didn't happen 23 years ago. Then maybe that chick wouldn't have been raped. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck Kobe Bryant. Don't give a shit. If he'd have stayed in Charlotte where they drafted him, maybe he wouldn't have raped the bitch also. And it's like, dude, look, once again, I get you're trying to be funny, but you're an asshole.
Can we let the body be buried first? Because I get it, but it's like what was it, that thing I sent you about, the chick from the Washington Post? Does the Washington Post not teach their people to read the room?
No, because that's not the world we live in. It really isn't. And I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, you can believe whatever you want. You can believe he raped her. You can believe he didn't rape her. Here's the facts. He was never convicted. She refused to testify. There was multiple men's semen in her underwear from the night that she said the rape happened. And she took a payment and a settlement after she dropped the criminal charges.
Yes, but then too, the damning part of that, he apologized, right? He issued like an apology. That to me didn't make him it admitted wrongdoing. He what did he say in the apology? Like, I thought this encounter was consensual, but apparently I was wrong. Like something like, it was like, when I read the apology, I was
but that's
man, if I was his lawyer, I would have said, great, you paid her off. Don't say anything more.
Yeah, but that's the celebrity move. You apologize to make everything okay. Everybody forgives you once you say sorry. My bad.
Well, I mean,
in 2006,
I just think back to Ralphie May, and he's like, what's the physical evidence they had? His semen in her underwear, yeah, along with a handful of other guys. Like, he's like, look, I don't know, never been raped, but I'd imagine if someone raped me, I wouldn't go out and want to get a train ran on me right afterwards. He goes, also, vaginal bruising. He goes, I have a theory about how that happened. 6'7" black man, 5'2" white girl. Wonder why her vaginal area was bruised. And it's like,
I have no idea. A 6'5" black athletic man, no padding whatsoever.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't know. Wasn't there? All right. I have no idea. I don't know enough about Kobe Bryant and his personality to be like, is he the type of guy that if he's in the middle of, trying to get some and a chick says no, would he have stopped? I don't know. I mean, there's certain people, it's
the settling didn't look good simply because you can't take no-name person to court and just bleed her out. Like, I guess to me that's a legal tactic. To me that wasn't a good look. Like, really, Kobe, you can't afford to just drag this out in civil court till she's out of money and then gives up. You're just going to pay her off for it. Like, to me, that never sat right with me.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but you also got to understand that what his lawyers are going to tell him. And if he's paying enough money, he's got sharks. He's got killers in his corner for lawyers. And they're going to be honest with him and look at him and go, you could probably pay her off for a couple million. You're going to spend more than that in a civil trial. On top of that, every single day of that civil trial, you got to go home to that wife that you had to buy a $7 million apology ring for after she's heard the stories about, at the very least, you railing this 5'2" white bitch in some hotel in Colorado.
I'm going to put it to you like this: whether he didn't, indifferent. The fact is, in the court of public opinion, many people said he was guilty, flat out. He's a rapist. He's at the very least an adulteress, and fuck Kobe Bryant. The day he died, those exact same people were like, oh, and not just, damn, that's wow. Not like that. They were like, oh, he was such a great dad. And I remember when we were talking about such and such, and he came to the thing, and then he did the thing. And
all of a sudden there's this great reverence.
Right. It wasn't just like, Rich saying that, makes angels of us all. These are people that pulled a 180 on a dime and was like, never mind that he committed adultery and did all this shit. He was such a great man, and I have so many memories, and I will remember him for so long. It's like, the fuck?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe. I haven't seen the people that were on the he was a rapist hardcore train for all these years opine in a way about how wonderful of a father or anything he was. I've seen the blue checkmark twatter fucks do exactly what I expect them to do, which is just sharpen their knives, grab their forks, and dig into them like a fucking 40-ounce steak. That's what I've seen. These are people who've never cut him any slack. These are people who've never cut anybody any slack. These are people that if you say one wrong thing in your entire life, you are useless to them for your entire life. You're never allowed to make a mistake.
I give Twitter maybe we'll say maybe even 10 years before the media just deems it irrelevant. I think Twitter is heading down that way. It's just turning into the boy who cried wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2020. The person who cried wolf.
Well, I hope so. Sadly, I don't think so. I think we're addicted to outrage headlines now. It's what gets clicks. I don't see how that's going to change because you know how we lasted with as much peace as we did between people for as long as we did in this country. We didn't know what our neighbors thought about every single fucking thing. Yeah. Now we do. Because we're friends with them on Facebook, or we see their Twitter post, or their Instagram picture of them with a MAGA hat on, or, not my president pictures, or whatever the fuck. And so now we hate them for that. Whereas if you never knew that about them, you'd have no problem, and you guys could live next door to each other for fucking decades and get along. Let your kids play together, borrow each other's power tools, invite each other over for birthday parties and pool parties, and everything would have been fine.
Get a cup of sugar.
But you can't do that now because, oh, God, I know something about you I don't like.
Yeah, it's another, again, podcast Rich and I listen to. Everyone should not have a voice. This experiment is failing. We were fine when only certain people had a voice, and now this everyone having a voice thing, it is not working out. Some people need to be not heard.
And look, if some guy I don't know in a group called Savage Sports Memes post a meme about Kobe Bryant dying that's making a joke about it. First of all, I'm in a group called Savage Sports Memes that I had to be approved and answer questions, and it's a private group. They screen who comes in there. All right. You're told right up front, you're going to see shit that's probably at some point going to offend you or bother you. Keep scrolling. This ain't the place to get butt hurt and start throwing shit fits. And it is completely amazing how people pick and choose what they get offended about. I mean, I make jokes about gay people, make jokes about black people, make jokes about white people, make jokes about Jews, make jokes about Christians, make jokes about Muslims, but you talk about Kobe Bryant, oh my God, I got to report you to Facebook, you should be banned, you're a horrible human being, you're a fucking monster. Really? Really?
Did you get reported?
Not me.
But do you know people who reported people? That's
dude. Oh, they screenshot the shit and out those people and then fucking boot them out the group. because they're too. Half the time, the people are too stupid. They report to the admins who run the group, the administrators. The administrators are like, "There's no reporting in this group. That's one of the rules that you agreed to." Now, if they report it directly to Facebook, you don't know who reported you. That's your professional reporters. If you get a letter from or a note from Facebook saying that they've taken something down or a post of yours has been flagged, that means someone reported you anonymously to Facebook. You'll never know who did it. But if you're in a group and you're an administrator and someone, like I am in a few groups, and someone reports it, I get a note with the person's profile and everything about who reported, and it's like, you get bounced. Sorry, this ain't that type of group.
When did
but no,
turn into I'm telling? Like that's been like the New World Order for the last 5 years. I'm telling, like we're in fucking kindergarten.
It's the and you know what
I got
it does?
called many different names because I posted a meme on my Facebook that said that Kobe Bryant has passed or has died in a helicopter crash, and then at the bottom it said, "Well, at least he finally passed."
Oh, see,
right.
That's funny.
And everybody called me everything but a white man. I was like,
cool. Then
wasn't it just a minute? If I'd have talked to these same people the night before the helicopter went down and said Kobe Bryant, they'd been like, "Oh, the fucking rapist bastard."
See, that's why I tell them find the delete button. You and your delicate sensibilities, go follow the Disney page or some shit. Jesus Christ.
No, I made a comment on my post that said, okay, look, forever ago you guys were saying that he was a rapist and an adulteress and everything else. Pick your bitch. Is he good or bad? Let me know, and then I'll stop offending you really quickly.
Whatever social media is telling them how to feel, I think is really what we're kind of drilling down here.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Yeah, but see, this is that tribalistic brainwashing that has been done to us, that we've allowed to be done to us, and we like it. We like it, or else we would stop it. All right, but we don't. We like pissing off people who aren't part of our tribe. We like riling stirring the shit pot and not having to lick the spoon. That's why we do this shit. Okay, because just a few hours ago, Shaq was on TNT, and they were it was him and Barkley and a few other guys, and they were talking about Kobe, and Shaq got emotional and was crying. He's like, I haven't felt pain like this in a while. I haven't lost someone who was, this young, who I was this close to. in a long time. And of course, all these people come on. Well, what happened? How's my ass taste, Kobe?
Yeah,
what happened to blah 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 blah? Dude,
that's the last I
you know
heard.
some of the most vicious fights and arguments I've gotten into are with people that I was the most close to. Because if I don't care about you, you can't hurt my feelings. Now, can you?
Fair point.
All right. That whether or not they got along 100% of the time, there was some sort of friendship and relationship there. You know how I know? Because both of them got petty about shit. You don't get petty about people. You don't. Opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference.
That's another great point. Yeah, you don't nickel and dime people you don't give a fuck about. It's true.
Easiest thing in the world to do if you don't care about someone is leave them alone. I mean, they went back and forth in the media via, their horrible rap careers. Yes, both of them have had horrible rap careers. Stop it. You're an athlete. You're not a rapper. Cut it out,
No love for Kazam?
No.
No love for Superman? Come on.
At least Kobe didn't try to fucking have a movie career. So, he at least knew his limitations. Like, no, Shaq, you dress up like a genie. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Shaq is now in it. Shaq has not met an endorsement he doesn't like. Dude, I'm waiting for Shaq to have a MaxiPad commercial.
Well, sometimes when I get my man, I need my man pond because my butthole leaks and I got stuff somewhere there and I got my man pond.
On those heavy flow days.
When I had too many chicken wings and, I got the mud butt and the bubble guts, I stick my man pond up my butt and it works. And my wife appreciates it.
And that's
just like she's going to appreciate this paycheck for doing this commercial. But no, I mean, look, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, all you people have to do is stop for a second and realize that everything's not black and white. Everything's not left, right, and everything's not fucking binary. Okay? People have a whole palette of emotions. All right? You can be. Some of my friends who I've been the most angry at in my life, it's not because I hate them, it's because they're constantly fucking themselves over, shooting themselves in the foot. Take one step forward, jump 5 steps back, and you get tired of it because it's like, God damn it, dude. How long are you going to do this for? Until
the cha-cha song is over?
Chris, you and I, we tried to make music a career of sorts at one point. I got friends who are trying to get back in the game, and they're in their 40s now. And I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You don't have a car. You don't have a license. You don't have any gear. And you want to start a band? Why wait till you have nothing to try to do this? Why don't you go get something, then try to start from there? Oh, that's right. Because you're too busy with I'm going to live like I'm 18 for the rest of my life bullshit when you're in your fucking 40s now.
Dude, that shit is exhausting.
And I
gave it up in my early 30s.
It would take her, right, and it would take her 10 more years, and they'd be in the early 50s if they waited that long to get everything back.
I mean, dude, we've been doing Unregimented. It'll be 6 years in June of this year. We've been doing this show. It'll be 4 years in March. Neither of us have quit our fucking. All three of us haven't quit our fucking jobs to do this full time. We're not having any delusions of grandeur about what happens with this podcast. I appreciate everyone that listens to this podcast, but guess what? There ain't a whole lot of you. Not enough to where I can make a living off of it. That's reality.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Once I get the paycheck, say it.
But I mean, yes, go after what you want to do. You want to play music? Okay. Go play music, but stop with the fantasy bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that type of shit makes me angry at someone who I care about, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? This again, because it all the bullshit that comes with it starts back up, and you just get tired of it. I mean, that's how friendships go. There's ebbs, there's flows, there's peaks, there's valleys. Believe me, Earl, how long were you married total? Your first marriage?
16 years.
Damn.
Yeah, 16 years. Bet you it wasn't all fucking puppies and light and sweetness and shit every second of every 16 years.
No.
Exactly. And to act like, you know, there wasn't times you just wanted to stop at a red light, get out, put it in park, and scream at your wife, "Fuck you, I just want to live," and run. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody feels like that in a relationship at times. I had a friend who had a kid. He called me up. He goes, this kid was like a year old at this point. And he goes, "Is it normal to want to throw your kid out a window?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's normal to feel that way. It's not normal to act on it. So please don't."
Yeah. Don't do it.
You know?
Yeah, because this conversation would now be evidence.
Yes, I would be a party after the fact.
You know, we're off the beaten path for a minute. Back to Kobe. Look, yeah, it's a sad day. Terrible. He was a great player. You feel sorry for the other ones that died with him. But everybody and their grandmama has said something about Kobe. The president, Bill Belichick, every athlete on the planet, soccer players, everybody. I'm waiting for the Pope to say, "Oh, I got an email from Jesus. His daughter and Kobe are doing just fine."
Yeah,
like,
Jesus sends his love.
Right. I'm just like, okay, he's gone and he'll be missed. Moving on.
Yeah, but the point I made in the chat several times. It's a basketball player. In the grand scheme of things, that's all he was. You know,
No. He's a former basketball player.
Send your hate mail to sporgy@christophermedia.net. But let's be honest. In the grand scheme of things, an athlete died. You know, I don't think
former.
If our current president died, I don't think we'd have this much outpouring because half the country would be celebrating.
This was I understand what you're trying, the point you're attempting to make. The point you're making, I understand it, but at the same time, he's not even 5 years removed from retiring. He's one of the best players to ever play the fucking game. He's not even eligible to get into the Hall of Fame yet. He hasn't even been retired that long.
Actually, no, I believe it was going to be this year.
He was eligible this year.
Yep, this year he's going in.
Yeah.
He's definitely going in now. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer before he died.
Yeah, well, he was. It just adds another layer of irony to his death.
But I mean, like, this is. It's kind of like, I mean, we were either, you know, very, very young or too young to really understand. This is like when Lennon got shot. You know, to a generation of people, it was like, holy shit. You know, a few years ago, he put out an album, and you know, he was still John Lennon to them. You know, now it's like we grew up in a world where John Lennon's dead, and it's just natural to us to, you know, a lot of people can't wrap their mind around this. People that grew up idolizing a man who then made it to the NBA and maybe played, you know, a game or two against him. And to his credit, from everything I've heard, I don't know how he was when he was younger, but seems like when he got older, he seemed to mellow a little bit, and he would actually sit and shoot the shit and talk with the younger guys, you know, try to impart a little wisdom to them.
If you want to move it to our generation, Rich, when Pac and Biggie died, it wasn't this big a deal. And that was somebody that we grew up listening to.
Where'd you guys go to high school at? My high school is a pretty big fucking deal.
Well, I mean, it was a big deal, but it wasn't like, you know, hellfire and brimstone and everything has to stop and no concerts are going to be played because these two have died.
No, yeah,
matter of fact, I was in a hotel room getting it on, and I was like, "Oh, that's shitty." Bend over.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah. You're right. They weren't canceling shit. I'll give you that. Like they're canceling games and like it's.
Well, see, that's part of this soft ass culture that we've become in the last 10 years or so. I mean, it really is.
I'll give you another one, and where the show quote unquote must go on. When Owen Hart, a wrestler, died in a fake sport, wrestling, because he fell from Kemper Arena onto a turnbuckle, they didn't only not cancel shows, they continued the show they were in.
Yeah, well, Vince McMahon don't give a fuck, so let's be honest there. I'm saying,
though, man, this man just fell all the way down from the top of Kemper Arena, bounced off the fucking turnbuckle, died, and they were like, okay, move him on.
How about
go on to the next match?
How about a local recent example? Cassius Winston from Michigan State. Brother dies next night playing, and he played for his brother, and he played out of his fucking mind.
Well, see, that's it just goes back to you can't satisfy and please everybody. And no matter what you do, there's going to be a group of people lined up to tell you what a piece of shit you are because you did it or you didn't do it or you thought this way or you said something. You can't win. And so the only way the only way is to not play the game or not give a fuck and do what you're going to do. That's it. That's all there is. There's all there is to it. Like I heard criticism of, oh Jesus, what was it? It was two teams played, and one of the teams, the reporter said, "Oh, well, they obviously their heart wasn't in it. They were distraught over the Kobe Bryant situation." And some guy comes barreling into the comment section of this sports article and goes, "Oh, so the other team didn't give a fuck? That's what you're saying?" And it's like, no, nobody's saying that. Like, how do you get that out of that? This shit makes no sense.
People are dumb, and we're getting dumber every day.
It's just okay. This is how society works at this. This is how society works at the current moment. You go on social media and you say, "I prefer mangoes to oranges," and then here comes some douchebag. So basically, what you're saying is you hate oranges. You also failed to mention pineapples, bananas, and grapefruits. Educate yourself, fruit racist. Yeah. This is the world we live in, and we let it happen. Instead of just telling these people, fuck off, and then hitting the block button. Because then they won. Oh, you know how I know I won an argument on the internet? I got blocked. I won. Really? That's essentially getting thrown out of somebody's house. Only on the internet could essentially being thrown out of somebody's house you consider yourself winning an argument.
Well, I'd say congratulations. Here's a big pile of nothing because that's what you quote unquote won. Hope you feel good. So,
okay. Let's move on for not necessarily off of Kobe, but there's been a few things that have been brought up, and to be honest with you, I'm not real sure how I feel about them. I mean, like retiring 24 for every team in the NBA. It's like
nuts.
Like, really? Okay.
I mean, they didn't even do that for 23. Stop it.
Okay, Gretzky is considered by most the greatest pure scorer in the history of hockey. That's why his 99's retired league-wide. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in baseball. That's why 42 is retired league-wide. Kobe Bryant isn't the highest-scoring basketball player in the history of the game, and he didn't break any barriers as far as color, class, anything like that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Wayne Gretzky is the end-all, be-all. He is, quote-unquote, the great one. There isn't another one of him. You know, we have Stevie Y, now we have Crosby, and a couple other forwards and whatnot. That all being said, there's never been another Gretzky. All right, there's been a couple of Kobes. All right, Jordan could arguably be better than Kobe. LeBron James. You know, I could do this all day. Dwayne Wade in his prime. There's been Kobes.
Didn't LeBron just pass Kobe in the all-time scoring
the night before he died
category? The night before, yeah. I mean, because I saw that meme because it said it had the split screen. It said LeBron James passes Kobe Bryant, all-time scoring leaders, and then it had the picture of SpongeBob standing up, and it said Kobe Bryant, and he was wearing a Kobe jersey, and it said, "Well, I guess I'll just head out now." And I was like, "Oh, damn."
Ooh, ruthless.
The internet remains undefeated and cold-blooded, man.
But if we're going to start retiring numbers from people who died in crazy ways or tragically, where does it end? Do we retire Roy Halladay's number? Do we retire Jose Fernandez's number? Do we retire Thurman Munson's number? You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
What kind of precedent are we setting here?
I love the way they honored him in the NBA. They didn't taking a 24-second shot clock violation and an 8-second violation on the backcourt. That was great. Every team did it. It started, I think, over in Philly, and I mean, it was amazing. Yes, that is one of your own that has gone down. I got it, and it was great. But no, You're not. Jeff Gordon in NASCAR is that number 24, where you can't drive number 24 anymore.
Yeah,
the number 8 car that belonged to Dale Earnhardt. No, Bush or Bud. No.
Well, it makes sense if the Lakers want to retire number 8, number 24, if they're not retired already. Knock yourselves out. Okay, if teams want to unofficially take those numbers off availability, which teams have done. Red Wings did it with Konstantinov's number 16 for the longest time. It's not in the rafters, but that number isn't available. You know what I'm saying? I want number 16. Yeah, and people in hell want ice water. Yeah.
Yeah, Brett Hull tried that shit.
So
Brett
Hull
he had no Brett. Absolutely not.
I mean, it's just so that is possible. I'm fine with that, but I mean to retire the number league wide, I'm like, eh. And then there's another groundswell of movement to remove Jerry West's silhouette and make Kobe's silhouette the insignia for the NBA.
Yeah, they tried that with Jordan too.
Well, I said on another podcast, haven't they already done that with Jordan? Isn't the Jumpman the new unofficial logo of the NBA anyway?
Well, no, but if you asked people in the mid-'90s who the logo was, they would have told you it was Michael Jordan and not Jerry West. Uneducated people that knew about basketball but that didn't really know.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't have a problem with that because that's the NBA wants to do that. He is one of the top scorers. He was a big draw for 20-some fucking years, wasn't it?
20.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sure. If you choose to do that, that's fine. Jerry West, give another decade or two, people are going to be like, unless they're basketball historians, are going to be like, who? Huh? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
we have 18-year-olds who don't know who Van Halen is, okay? And you're telling me that fucking another 10, 15, 20 years, these little kids that are being born right now that are going to turn into basketball fans are going to be – they're hardly going to know who Iverson was, let alone Jerry West, okay?
Yeah, it's – too, you could tell them in 10 years you could not change a logo and tell them that's Kobe Bryant and people will believe you because it's a silhouette.
That's it. It is who you want it to be. Hashtag not my silhouette.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Media.net. Sporgy.
All right, well, spent an hour on Kobe. heard there's a football game this weekend in Miami.
Do you want to go to that football game, or do you want to go to the baseball game?
Huh? Did you just shit on a segue?
I did.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Well, we didn't get to talk about the championship games. I mean, let's start with the NFC. Wow.
Cricket.
Yeah. Jet lag, maybe? I mean, Rodgers ended up being Rodgers, but by then it was too late. Like in San Francisco, the damage was already done. Raheem Mostert had a career fucking game.
Yeah, and that defense was unrelenting. Jones he could barely get the ball before he was hit.
Yeah, if Green Bay was going to win, that's how they were going to do it. And they took that guy out of the game real quick.
They were like, nice try, Jones. We got one of our own. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. And then the Kansas City game, man.
I was stunned. I was floored.
I just wonder if San Francisco sneaks this away from them, because with their last two games, they were behind in both games and they had to play catch up. Now they ended up, totally decisively winning both games, but still that Chiefs defense, man, it let them get down like 2-3 touchdowns each game. Like, that's going to be a liability in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, somebody gave them a shot of adrenaline in the heart, and they didn't score another point. And it's like, okay.
But so who do you guys think is going to win?
I got Kansas City, just for the simple fact, if you could stop Henry, you're stopping this new kid that nobody knows about. And once you do that, you got Jimmy G playing against or playing with Kittle.
Yeah, the thing is though is you're talking about them stopping the Kansas damn it. Sorry. You're saying Kansas City's going to win because you think they're going to stop Mostert? The problem is, though, with San Francisco, they've got a running back. They have all three of their running backs could start on other teams.
No, I agree with you. But I think the running game for San Francisco is going to be stopped by Kansas City, and they're going to be screwed because they have Jimmy G and Kittle. That's it. Now, I'm not saying this out of left field because I didn't think Kansas City was going to be able to stop Henry. However, I said if they stop Henry, they're through. And they did. And running back by committee or not, none of those three are Henry.
It's true. But again, they would all be starters on other teams. After Henry, Tennessee didn't have Dick. That's the thing. One guy, San Francisco has been the most run-heavy team all season. And if you look, they've gone with the hot hand. There's not been one definitive front runner in that backfield. It's all been who's had the hot hand.
I totally agree with you.
If one guy's not working, if Mostert don't work, they're going to throw in Breida. Or if Breida's not working, they're going to throw in Coleman. That's what. If I'm Andy Reid, that's what I'm planning for.
Exactly. And if they do stop their run game, they're screwed. Because then you got Jimmy G and Kittle, his tight end, and that's all you got.
Yeah, but Breida is small. The reason I think Henry was easy for KC to stop is he's a big dude. Breida's like Barry Sanders size.
No, I agree. But you also got to remember Kansas City got Terrell Suggs, who brings Super Bowl experience.
50-year-old Terrell Suggs?
It's not about what he can play. It's about how he can teach. He has Super Bowl experience. He has knowledge of small running backs. Looking at you, Ray Rice. He knows how to stop them. And he can tell the younger, bigger guys. And if you're going to focus on stopping the run, you're going to need somebody as a leader like Terrell Suggs.
There's also a rather interesting exchange between him and Deion Sanders, where Deion Sanders was like, so, you were talking all that good shit when I came over to Baltimore about old man this, old man that. How you feeling now? And he's like, yeah, I'm 37. He's like, but, what I didn't have, what I don't have in youth anymore, I have in experience and wisdom. And it's like, well, I just hope you're right.
I just think that the way that San Francisco handled Green Bay, like if I'm Kansas City, I don't count my chickens before they're hatched, man.
How many passes? How many passes did Garoppolo throw in that game? Because it was past. Yeah, it was past the half, and he had thrown 6 passes.
No, he threw. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was no more than 13. I can tell you that.
I mean, the thing is, it's a one it's a definition of a one-dimensional offense.
And I was trying to explain to you, Chris, if they had 3 people to stop, and they stopped every single one of them talking about San Francisco. They had to stop Jones.
You call them
They
a
had to
one-dimensional
stop.
offense. They went 14-2, and they're in the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah, but they had the defense for San Francisco had to stop Jones, Adams, and then Rodgers, and they did that very effectively.
they got us.
Okay.
All they got to stop at Kansas City is Kelsey, Cheetah, and Mahomes. No one else on that team's an offensive threat.
All right, well, hold on. Because this is, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm on low-grade acid. Every time someone makes a point, someone else starts talking, and we get off in the fucking weeds about another point before any points get fucking addressed. So basically, we're all just jerking off onto a fucking cracker, hoping that the cracker can understand what we're trying to do with our jizz here. When I said they're 14-2, yes, I understand that. But they're 14-2. This is the playoffs. You're playing the best of the best of the best now. You come in with that weak-ass, we are a one-dimensional offense bullshit. That ain't going to fly like it did during the regular season. That's what I'm saying. If Jimmy G is the next GOAT, as so many people in San Francisco want to paint him out to be, Jesus Christ, you got a guy here in Detroit who says he's got the best record of any quarterback in the history of the NFL during his first 25 starts. And I'm like, could we cherry pick a stat to try to make this guy look like, the second coming of Christ a little bit more? Jesus Christ. What color shoelaces was he wearing? Does he have the best starting record of anybody who ever wore those color shoelaces?
So his first 25 starts, so his first season and a half?
Exactly. I mean, you have how many guys have been great in the regular season? They get in the playoffs, they get in a high pressure situation, and they fold like a piece of origami. Has he been put to the test? Has his feet been put to the fire? That's what I'm getting at.
They beat Green Bay handily. Again, just how they. I guess too.
Did he beat Green Bay though?
No, their defense. That's the point I was just about to bring up. Richard Sherman's going to be on Cheetah. Have fun, KC. That's also another thing. It's like Sherman. It seems to be maybe it's because he's from the Bay Area. He seems to be like wine. He seems to be getting better the older he gets.
Sherman's a man possessed at the moment. That dude, he's waking up pissed off for no good reason.
No, it's for a very good reason. He wants to prove that he was the Legion of Boom.
Dude, it ain't just about that. He's fucking. He's shitting on Harbaugh. He's shitting on the Lions. He's shitting on New England. He's shitting on that motherfucker should change his last name to I shat on you.
Yeah,
Richard, I shat on you. That should just be his last name because all he's doing is just opening his butt cheeks and just dropping deuces on motherfuckers. That's it. Just shooting deuces on their face, like for the last week and a half. And I'm like, well, how are you this angry and you're in the Super Bowl? Like, you're talking about a coach you ain't had since you were at Stanford, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, you that pissed off still want to meet him on the field? Like, that motherfucker's going to invent some reason to try to knock me out and take my socks.
However, Chris, I disagree with you on their weapons. Don't underestimate the Chiefs because that's exactly what the Titans did. Oh, they got Cheetah, Kelsey, and that's it. And Mahomes. Woohoo. No, they have more. They have McCole Hardman. Looking at you, the Pro Bowl returner played a big part in that game. And as much as you hate to admit it, the days of what's his nuts who came from Buffalo and the Rams. I can't think of his name. What the hell is his name?
There you go. That's his name.
Yeah. Oh my God, what the hell is that guy's name? Does it suck that I know what his number is and I can't remember his name?
Just make your point, dude.
Chris, I disagree with you about Kansas City and the weapons they have. You said they have Mahomes, Kelsey, and Cheetah, and that's it. That's not true.
If you're gonna bring up two receivers who caught a total of 3 touchdowns over 16 games, those aren't weapons.
One more time. We're heading to the Super Bowl, and we're coming out of a killer playoff run. I'm going to talk about Pro Bowl returner McCole Hardman and wide receiver who played a huge part in returns, who's played a huge part in getting key first downs. Yes, I am. I'm going to talk about day-old Sammy Watkins Absolutely.
Oh, you mean Sammy Watkins, who had his first touchdown since September?
Yeah, who also had key first down catches? Yes, I am. Keep underestimating him, please. Because I'm telling you, San Francisco had better not do this. If they underestimate these people, they're going to lose real bad. Demarcus Robinson is another one. And then at the end of the day, I'm gonna make you laugh. Shady McCoy. No, he's not fast. Make me laugh. No, he's not as fast as he was or as strong as he was, but he has experience.
And you're also talking about a team that in their last 2 games were down 3 touchdowns and had to come back. I'm saying that defense is going to be a liability. You watch.
We'll see. Maybe they play the rope-a-dope, man. Past 2 games, it looks like the rope-a-dope. Because
guess what? That San Francisco defense, that ain't the Tennessee defense. And it ain't whoever you played before. You're going to try to go long on Richard Sherman. He's going to bat that shit away every time.
I understand what you're saying, my friend.
Just like last year, I want to tell the people in Kansas City, you might want to slow your roll.
And it came down to a coin flip. You're right there. But what I'm also telling you is I don't think Kansas City is going to lose because I think they play the rope-a-dope. They take the best shot the other team has to give, and the coaches and the coordinators look at what they're doing and what schemes they're running, make the in-game adjustment by the time the second quarter starts, not second half, second quarter, and they shut that team down. It's happened the past 2 games. It is a dangerous and costly sometimes strategy, but it's worked twice, so I can't fault them. I mean, in the first quarter, they went down 21-0, and then they came back and beat the teetotal hell out of the team, man.
Yeah, you're not having the 2 comebacks they've had. You're not having those against the San Francisco defense. You're not.
Okay.
I mean, they made the Packers look like they didn't even belong there.
Depending on who you talk to, they might not have. Anyways. The Titans scored. They won their division. The Titans, you remember the Titans, right?
Yeah.
That's the team that beat New England and Baltimore, both poised and picked to go to the Super Bowl by you.
Yeah.
It goes through Baltimore, and Tennessee beat them.
Kansas City.
In the first half, Tennessee scored 17 points. The rest of the game, they only scored 7.
Out of all the teams you named, Kansas City beat the Titans. That's it.
Who beat 2 Titans.
And the Titans beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I'm just saying,
it's a new season.
I'm just saying, the way that San Francisco defense is playing, do not gift wrap this for the Chiefs.
No, I don't think it's a gift wrap. I don't think this is a done deal. I think it's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl, and I think that the Chiefs are going to continue to play the rope-a-dope, see the schemes that San Francisco's going to run and make an adjustment as needed. And not for nothing, unfortunately, I don't think San Francisco's coach is old enough to understand and be able to do that exact same thing.
You know who his dad is, right?
I do, but his dad ain't coaching.
Okay. But acting like he's super green, hey, is this a football? Come on, man.
Well, he is super green, bro. This is his second season as a head coach?
And he's in the Super Bowl, and he technically has a shit team, so I'd say he's a pretty damn good coach. You're just telling me about all the offensive weapons they don't have, yet they went 14-2 and are in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I would say that's a good coach.
Well, I'm saying Carroll, in his second season, went as a second season head coach. So that's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, but he had Russell Wilson. He had Marshawn Lynch. He had Golden Tate when Golden Tate was worth something. Come on now.
Can you believe Marshawn Lynch came back for the playoffs? That was funny. Did anybody else laugh besides me?
No,
I was dying.
Because all 4 of their running backs went on injured reserve. They essentially brought someone in off the street. Like, hey, you still play football? But anyway.
That was so funny. But that's my pick. I pick Kansas City for the reasons I've already said. I ain't going to go on. I think they have the weapons. I think they have the coaching advantage. And I think, that's how I think it's going to play out.
Okay, Homer. Come on, we had to get that in there. We cannot let it be lost, the fact that you live like 3 hours from Kansas City.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, I've already stated my concern with 49ers offense. Garoppolo's untested. under this much pressure. Mahomes has been to a conference championship game, lost one, won one. You know, I mean, granted, it's his, second full season playing this year, or is it his third?
It's his
third season, but second.
No, it's his second as a starter because he spent all of last year on IR. Because last year was supposed to be his first year as the starter. Because wasn't he shipped like mid-season to San Francisco?
No, it was, and then it was.
Mahomes, yeah,
beat her.
This is Mahomes' second season as a starter. It's his third season on the team.
Yeah, Mahomes, you know, and I wouldn't say Mahomes folded last year against New England necessarily. I just say he ran into New England when they were still New England. I mean, it happens. Ask Peyton Manning how that feels. You know?
Yeah, last year it came down to a coin flip. If Kansas City won that coin flip, I firmly believe Kansas City would have won.
And if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. If. That's from a year ago.
Well, you're saying he folded. That's not how it came down. It came down to a coin flip.
No, I said he didn't fold. It's not like he folded. That's what I said. My point is that Mahomes seems like he's not going to wilt under the pressure. I don't know about Garoppolo, but I'm going to take the 49ers because of that defense. Because I'm going to tell you what, from the front office down, you got people on that defense that are taking that shit serious as a fucking heart attack. You ain't gonna.
Okay, Homer.
Okay, well, you want sure. Okay, if you,
I had to get my shot. Y'all got yours.
Taking a shot. That ain't no shot, dude. When Singletary was there, you quit on Singletary? How long do you think you were going to play?
2 seconds.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you're on defense and you got John Lynch who's in charge of you being there, I guarantee you Lynch is going to start. Certain general managers come in and they change the culture from the get-go. We make the playoffs and you produce in the playoffs or your ass is the fuck out of here.
I gave you props a long time ago, though. I gave you props a long time ago for Lynch. That man is exactly what you're saying he is. And that's why I gave you that props, because the man brought back the San Francisco mentality that it used to have, the swag that it used to have.
And I think Richard Sherman is a man on a mission. He's pissed. He's taken a page out of a lot of people who have success out of their book, and it's I'm going to put this chip on my shoulder even if no one gave me a chip to put on my shoulder. I'm going to invent one to put on my shoulder. So I said he's walking around looking for people to shit on and get pissed about. And if you think he's going to let that defense... Well, first of all, he's been there.
Yeah.
So you can't tell him nothing if you're on that defense and you're trying to... What do you think, Nick Bosa's going to sit there and talk shit to him? That ain't happening.
The answer's no.
No, I think Richard Sherman's walking around the field going, I wish a motherfucker would.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Flat out, I think he's going to be like, shut up, do what I tell you, and we'll be hoisting the Lombardi this Sunday. And if you don't do what I tell you, I'll see you in the parking lot after the game.
Shit, I'll see your ass in the locker room if you make it that far. Don't look back in the tunnel. Just keep running.
So, yeah, you know me, I'm a defensive guy. My only concern about the 49ers, like I said, if they can't get their running game going and is not as dominant as it was, and Garoppolo's got to start chucking that ball around. Is he going to fold under the pressure? But I'm willing to say that he probably won't, because look who he came up behind. Look at the system he came up in before he got traded. And look at the success he's had since he's been there.
I'm definitely with you there.
He doesn't carry himself like a guy, like, how do I put this? Eli Manning never looked like he went out there and he knew he was going to win a game. Eli Manning always looked like he was mildly surprised he was in the NFL at all times. You know what I'm saying? He always had that, like, oh, I'm actually in the NFL look on his face. Garoppolo just seems like he's just loose and laid back and not in that Johnny football way. You know, not in that Johnny Manziel way, like too loose, too laid back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're too worried about having a good time more so than winning. But like I said, I don't know. He doesn't have a track record. So that's the question mark. But even having said that, I'm taking the 49ers.
Damn. Yeah, I'm with Rich, man. Like, just how they embarrassed the Packers, and plus how the Chiefs defense they've had to go back in and adjust. I'm picking the Niners, man. And again, the fact that they've gotten to where they're at with nobody. You've made that point several times, and you're right. They've gotten as far as they've gotten with nobody, and to me, that's worth something, man.
It is worth something. It's something to definitely be praised, and from the top down, John Lynch all the way down. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's something to be feared. That defensive line you do not want to mess with on either end. Bosa or the other end with Williams. They're killers. They'll hurt you, and they'll make statements doing it. That being said, though, guys, I'm just trying to tell you, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, and they've done it the entire playoffs. It's called the rope-a-dope. Take your opponent's best shot, make the adjustment, come up with an overhand right that knocks them the hell out. Yes, they beat Tennessee, but Kansas City also beat Houston, and they embarrassed Houston, and that has one of the best wide receivers in the game.
But again, they had to come about from 3 touchdowns down to do it. They were down like 21-0.
Are you not listening to me? Are you not listening to me? It's called the rope-a-dope.
Okay. So they went down 3 touchdowns on purpose? Is that what you're saying?
It's not that they went down.
Let you get up 3 scores on purpose so we can come back and beat your ass. Come on, man.
It's not that they did it on purpose, but they take their opponent's best shot early. They make the adjustments as they go, and they shut them down. They've done it twice. Stands to reason that is a strategy that Andy Reid has. He has a contingency for whatever they do. Are they coming out throwing, or are they coming out running? Are they coming out blitzing, or are they coming back in nickel? And it seems like Andy Reid has a contingency for whatever they're doing.
See, you just brought up another reason why I'm rooting against the Chiefs. Andy Reid. Andy Reid seems to be the type of guy that can get you there, but he can't close a deal. He's done it, twice already?
Okay, and it's time for him to get his. It's time for him to get his. He couldn't do it in Philly. It's time for him to get his. He's a great coach. Always has been.
Dude, man, that Philly team was
it's
better
time
than
to go
this
that
Chiefs
extra
team.
yard.
If he couldn't get it done with that Philly team, I don't know if he's going to get it done with this Chiefs team. That Philly team was better than this Chiefs team. That Philly team had T.O. on it.
Are you saying Mahomes is not better than McNabb?
I'm saying a team with the second, the second most receiving yards. The team with the second best receiver of all time on him is probably better than this team at the moment. Now, history is still writing the story for this Chiefs team.
We're just going to agree to disagree. I'll go out on my limb. I'll play Iceman.
Because if you recall that year, that Super Bowl was being handed to the Eagles, and they blew it. Everyone was picking the Eagles that year.
I'm glad you guys are this passionate about your picks, because to be honest with you, I don't really give a fuck who wins. The only thing that's going to piss me off is if this is a fucking blowout or a boring ass game.
Yeah.
That's the honest to God's truth. I don't give a fuck who wins. I really don't. I just want a good game, not no blowout, not no boring ass bullshit. So
yeah, we need something in between 52-3 and last year. We need something in between those two. Because last year was the snoozer bowl. Is anyone going to score some points bowl?
I don't care. I just want to see the commercials, honestly.
Okay.
You don't have an internet connection? You can see most of them online right now.
This is true.
Yeah, but then you lose all the surprise and the fun.
Oh, then you have to let someone else play them on their schedule. You have to wait for them.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter. If you look around, you'll see the world can be pretty smart. Okay, very smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. That's why we're reshaping online learning with our FlexPath format. You can set your own deadlines, take classes at your own pace, even leverage your previous experience to move faster. So when it comes to earning your bachelor's degree, you know what kind of choice to make. A smart one. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
So we covered Kobe, Super Bowl. What else, guys?
Well, I mean, we should have saved the Super Bowl for last, but he'd already shit on your segue. I didn't want to shit on your segue further because there is some news to talk about in the NFL besides this fucking game coming up this Sunday. I mean, you got the fact that Phillip Rivers done in fucking in L.A.
Oh,
he's done with the Chargers. Yeah,
I did not know
they're not
that.
bringing him back. Yeah, nope. See you later.
So he's going to go play
all
for
these
the Giants?
Indiana is what I keep hearing is the destination that people seem to be beating a drum for, or Indianapolis.
I thought they liked
Indianapolis. Sorry. I mean, Brady hasn't re-signed. Does he go anywhere? You got Joe Montana giving him advice through an open letter via the media saying stay in New England. But I mean, it's New England. You never know what the fuck is going on under the surface. But I mean, why is this even a question? Why is this? Why it's never gotten? They've never let the rope get played out this far about whether or not Brady's coming back.
Because they've never had to. We're in a position where they had to pay him what he's worth. They were never there. He always bought into the system, and that system is everybody takes mediocre pay or mid-level play, and everybody wins a championship. So it's the question is the GOAT tired of not making the money he's worth, or is he fallen in love with all the championships?
He's not going anywhere. He's been in that uniform his whole career. He's won all of his championships there. This is all just talk. He's not going anywhere.
And we've all said that, and we said this before. You're looking at Joe Montana, same thing, won his championships there.
This isn't Brett Favre who won one and then he's chasing another one with another team. Brady's not going anywhere.
Montana went to Kansas City.
Yeah. And?
Wasn't that via a trade, though?
I believe it was.
I think he went. Just flat out went.
I thought they traded him because they wanted to give Steve Young a chance. But
yep, he was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs on April 20th, 1993.
Oh, okay. Ouch. That had
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Pats are not trading him. There's no fucking way because they're going to ask the sun, the moon, and the stars for him.
And they're not going to get it.
This is all bulletin board material. He's not for his agent. He's not going anywhere.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is what's irritating because it's the Pats, and the Pats are like that girl that all your friends fucked, and she played mad games with them, like, constantly. See, and it's like, every time she'd take her rotten-ass fucking crotch from one friend to another, you'd go, dude, you just watched her ruin 3 of our friends' lives. Why would you roll the dice on this fucking blown-out roast beef pussy-having bitch? Like, you think you're going to fucking out-gameplay her? Like, that's how the Pats are. That's what's so irritating about them with this shit. They play the game so much better than everybody else. Everybody else is playing checkers. They're over here playing fucking Star Trek 4D chess and shit. And it's just irritating, man, because it's like, what's real and what's not? What's invented drama to get the NFL world talking about you when you're not even in the Super Bowl? Because I really feel like that's kind of what this is with Brady.
Yeah.
I feel like if Kobe hadn't have died, the storyline in Radio Row leading up to the Super Bowl would be the game. Where's Brady going?
Yeah.
I really feel it'd be like that. Instead, this game. By the way, if you don't like Kobe Bryant, don't even watch this Super Bowl. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have tributes all over the place. They already did it in the Pro Bowl.
Guarantee you there's going to be something at halftime. Guarantee you. So just pre-shows, everything. Kobe everything. So just if you don't like Kobe Bryant, your best bet, Wait for the replay. Wait for the highlights on SportsCenter after the game.
Yeah, fast forward through the game. Watch the commercials. Come to my house. I got it recorded.
Does the NFL still do those condensed games on the NFL Network, where you can watch a whole game in like an hour?
Yeah, they do. They do. They were just playing the. Oh fuck! I just watched it like a few days ago. They're playing the non-Megatron catch against the Bears. That game. They had condensed
what is
version
a catch? What isn't a catch? That started game.
Yeah, the one that was in Chicago, where everyone.
Yeah, the one where he fell down, put an ass, a hand, both legs on the ground,
two
turned
balls,
over, right?
Mushroom print.
Put the ball on the ground, slapped it away, and all of a sudden it's not a catch. The fuck?
Yeah, didn't we get? Well, wouldn't it have not mattered that season anyway? Wouldn't we have been like 6-10?
I think that was Lions fans reaching for a
moral victory.
Yes,
well, it's like with that Green Bay game this year. Cool, you'd be 4-12. Awesome. The refs don't blow that call. Great, you're 4-12. Cool.
Well, speaking of,
it's more that we beat our division, guys. And in that play, that would have put the Lions ahead of the Bears.
Because that would have mattered in January.
Well, I mean, speaking of the Lions, we got we're not going to debate a fucking decade-old fucking play. I was just pointing out that the game was on and it was a condensed game.
I was talking about
the goddamn catch. End of story. Moving on.
I was talking about the game from earlier this year.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about. No, he's talking about that Chicago Lions games from a decade ago, wherever the fuck it was, close to a decade ago. Anyways,
because it was a catch. Anyways,
the Lions are still they're in the national spotlight because you got Richard Sherman saying he wouldn't come play here, and they offered him fucking $20 million guaranteed, and he said no, don't think so.
How bad do you have to be to turn down $20 million goddamn dollars? Seriously,
you have to be a competitor. That's what Richard Sherman is. He wants to win. It's not just about money to guys like that. He wants to fucking win.
Well, I mean, let me read you I'm not sure if it's an alleged quote. Hold on, let me pull up the article. Make sure here. This is via a report from Michael Lombardi of The Athletic. He actually turned down a bigger offer from Detroit Lions, $40 million guaranteed. Excuse me, because of their scheme and their culture. From The Athletic. Sherman said the Lions offered him a contract that included $10 million guaranteed in each of its first 2 seasons. According to Sherman, that offer featured more guaranteed money than the incentive-laden 3-year, $39 million deal he ended up signing with the 49ers. It's not the kind of football I want to play, Sherman said of the Lions, who are coached by former New England defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. The way they run their scheme, their culture, you want to do it the Patriots way, that's not the way I do football. I have fun, I like music at practice, I like to hang out and be relaxed in meetings, I don't like the stressful environment in football. Lions condition every day after practice. My body isn't built to run all day and night. I'll be prepared, but I don't have to be running to the ground.
As much as I want to shit talk him for half of the shit he said, look at him. He's in the Super Bowl. He's probably going to get
for the third time.
Yeah, he's probably in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. So what can I shit talk about anything he just said?
Yeah, he's a 3-time Super Bowl contender, 1-time champion.
But see, that's the thing. If that is the New England way, but you get New England results, you'll put up with that. We've got 2 years of Patricia and 4 of Quinn or 3 of Quinn trying to instill the New England way with no New England results. In fact, quite the opposite of New England results.
I know, we're getting the Patriot way with the Browns result. What the fuck?
I mean, if you're going to treat me like a dog, run me constantly, et cetera, the win column better reflect that. Or else you can go fuck yourself. Especially if I'm one of the best players in the fucking league at my position. I'm not putting up with that shit. I don't give a fuck how much money you throw at me. Not when I know I don't have a chance of winning. Because let's be honest, if the Lions were contenders, they wouldn't have tried to throw that much guaranteed money at them.
No.
Okay, they'd have been like, we speak for... Our contract offer speaks for itself. Do you want to win, or do you want to buy a few more cars? Obviously he wanted to win. He's got enough cars. He listened at the rookie symposium. Like when Herm Edwards got up and said the rule of one car, one piece of jewelry, one house, one girlfriend or wife, not both. Keep it one. The rule of one. But no, I think that's interesting because that's not a take you hear about Detroit quite often. Like we know that there's not a quote unquote winning culture here because we suffer through this fucking joke of a team every fucking football season. But we really don't know what the culture is. We don't hear about that. Reporters aren't talking about whether these guys are getting dogged, running, 3-a-days, full pads, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, wait a minute. So they dog out their players? They have these guys out here fucking sucking wind like it's boot camp? And they're still not producing results? There's an issue there. Obviously not their conditioning.
There's something because his record is awful. There's something wrong somewhere that has to be fixed because he's won 9 games in 2 seasons.
Not only that, but he came in as a defensive genius, guru, rocket scientist, and yet you listen to the national, talking heads about the no football, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck he's doing with that defense. It doesn't have an identity. 85 Bears type of defense, Earl. Did Earl go to sleep? 85 Bears type of defense.
Yeah.
What type of defense they have? Yes. What scheme? What scheme were they known for?
6-2.
Okay, you talk about the 2000s in the early 2010s. New England Patriots, it's exotic blitzes left and right.
Right.
Like they have an identity. There is no identity with this Lions defense, and you have a coach you brought in to specifically instill that. And you have one of the best defensive players in the league having the brink struck backed up to him going, I don't want to play for that type of defense, and I don't want to play for that type of team.
Yeah, that should be gut check time for you as a team, in my opinion. You'll never win because you apparently cannot attract the type of players you're going to need to be a winning team.
Well,
that's just sad.
Oh man, Google says the 85 Bears had a 4-6. I mean, it was a 6-2 defense, but.
I've never heard it referred to as the 6-2. I just didn't want to argue with you. I've always heard it referred to as the 4-6.
Right, because the linebackers and the linemen, and then one safety over the corners. Bottom line is there was 8 men in the box.
And if I say early 2000s Buccaneers defense, what do you think? Tampa 2.
Oh, in a hurry. That's what it was named for.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just once again. Not the type of story you want to hear going into the offseason with a coach who's been given a pass, with a GM who has obviously been given a pass as well, with a 3rd overall pick. And
I just don't know how they're going to fuck that up. They're gonna. They're going to fuck that pick up. I know they are.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like Lucy holding the football for Charlie Brown. It's like, Charlie, just don't bother. Don't bother. You know she's going to pull it away at the last second.
We should probably take Dobbins, and we're going to take somebody fucking stupid.
I absolutely can see it. And here's the sad part. As a Bucs fan stranded in Lions country, I'm going to have to listen for a month and a half once the Super Bowl's done with. A month and a half out from the draft, all the hype, because this is the Detroit Lions Super Bowl. For a month and a half, it's going to be, we're going to take a quarterback, we're going to set him behind Stafford, then we're going to trade Stafford, and he's going to come in and he's going to be our version of Aaron Rodgers, and blah 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 blah. And then no, we're going to take a defensive lineman and build around him, and with the 3rd overall pick, Detroit Lions pick. Tight end.
A kicker.
Really?
Yeah.
A kicker.
Yeah, some defensive back.
And the Lions trade all the way up to the number 1 pick and pick a punter. What the
You laugh.
I laugh to keep from crying.
I've been hurt too many times. I could see that happening.
I wasn't making this shit up. This is an ice prediction.
Write it down.
It's not even tinfoil half theory. Shit.
Well, we do have one more kind of amusing story that is not football related, and this is more directed towards Ice. His favorite hockey player of all time, goalie Ed Belfour, arrested again, and alcohol may have been a factor.
Why are you saying Ice? He likes to party. Isn't that what you want in your favorite player? Guy likes to party.
It's not that he likes to party. It's not that he got arrested. It's the aftermath. That's all.
Well, first of all, okay, he got busted in Kentucky. Belfour, what are you doing in Kentucky drinking? Seriously.
Come on, Eddie.
They don't have a hockey team in Kentucky. What do you get out of there, dude? Seriously. They don't know who you are.
May or may not have family in Kentucky, and you get busted for drinking in Kentucky, you got to try.
Right, well, he was. This is the police report. The 54-year-old was manifestly under the influence of alcohol to a point where he was a danger to himself and others. He was found clutching a curtain rod that had been ripped out of the drywall above a window next to him. The subject was kicking the spa door while he was laying on the ground. This was at the Kentucky Grand Hotel and Spa. As the police tried to arrest him, he became non-compliant with the officers. Now, what makes this funny is
he was making safe and directed traffic. It might have been a curtain rod to you, but that was his blocker. God damn it!
I wasn't kicking the door. I was making kick saves. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Didn't you see my goalie splits? God damn it! He was in the crease.
What makes this amusing is that in 2000 he got in trouble, and in 2007 he got in trouble with the law involving alcohol. And in 2000, apparently, as Chris put it, he tried to pull a Dr. Evil because he offered the police $1 billion not to take him to jail.
And what's really funny is he was the first Stanley Cup champion of this millennium. Ha! Shut up.
Oh, God. Well, you know, I know hockey players like to drink. Seriously, guys, can we get some handlers for these retired hockey players? Jesus Christ, man.
Well,
I'm just trying to think. Did Probert ever get so drunk that they arrested him?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that documentary, after he retired, he was down in Florida. 4 cops jumped on him and was tasing him, and he couldn't take him down.
Damn.
That's how drunk.
Yeah, but that wasn't drunk, right?
No, that was drunk. I don't think he pissed dirty for drugs at that point. I think he admitted he was on the way to go look for drugs, but he didn't have them in his system at the time. He was just like, getting away with my cocaine. We got an issue, officer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's a question.
I'm just saying.
We have all asked at several points on this program, during several incidents, how are people with those kind of means, how are you fucking driving? Like, if I got to a certain income level and I knew I liked to party, I would, one of my boys would be on the payroll as a driver. Hey, you now make $50,000 a year. You drive me around.
Yeah, get yourself a turtle from Entourage. You know what I'm saying? Like not only that, make one of your boys not only your driver, your handler. All right, man, come on. It's time to go. You're getting a little too crazy. We've got to get you out of here before you get belligerent, brownout drunk and refuse to leave and try to fight everybody.
Before we end up on the news, it's time to go.
Think that a curtain rod's a blocker.
And I'm just, why am I just picturing him laying on his back, holding a curtain rod like it's a blocker, kicking the spa door, going, "Fuck your spa, motherfucker! Fuck your spa!"
looking all mean and shit. Hasek ain't got nothing on me.
This fucking sucks. It's a bullshit ass spa.
Oh, yeah, and his mugshot's one for the ages because he's just cheesing it up with this goofy ass grin. He looks like he looks like a fetal alcohol syndrome version of Phil Collins. Like, it's just like, oof, really? Like, you can't be that happy in your mugshot, dude. Come on, man. Let's be honest here.
Maybe he was still drunk.
Oh, I'm sure he was, but based on how red everything on his face was.
Well, I mean, let me just full disclosure, be 100% honest. Eddie probably hasn't even sobered up from 2000 when he won the Cup. I'm just saying.
Well,
Take that, Mario Lemieux.
Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck that he likes to party. It's just like, dude, come on, man. There's an age limit on, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, get drunk, pass out on the bathroom floor in your own house. That's fine. All right? You're 50-something, dude.
I'm going back to Chris, man. He's my boy. All right? Love Eddie to death. I'm not mad he got drunk. I'm not mad he got arrested. The only thing I'm ashamed of is that it was in Kentucky. This isn't Eddie in Las Vegas. This isn't Eddie in California, Florida, New York. No, he's in the middle of bluegrass hell. The fuck, dude?
Yeah, dude, if you get busted in the middle of nowhere, you gotta try.
Seriously, a couple hours south of you, they make the whiskey.
Unless you were in Lexington or Louisville, there's nothing in Kentucky. Maybe Paducah, but like that's it. So yeah, what did he break into the Jim Beam factory and wanted to party? Like,
I'm just trying to figure that out. Seriously, a couple hours south, they make the whiskey. I mean, there's people all over that part of the country with stills and smoke coming out.
Hey man, you're fighting words. Bourbon is made in Kentucky, sir. Whiskey is made in Tennessee.
That's a couple hours south.
And
anyways,
they will fucking let you know.
I mean, banjos, dun, 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 that type of shit's there.
Again, but
how does somebody like that look at you and go, you're way too fucked up, you need to go to jail?
My wife's aunt lives 45 minutes from a Walmart. You have to try in a state like that to get busted. I'm just saying.
I'm saying, dude, the rite of passage to manhood is taking the first shot out of the still and not going blind.
Well, he must have toured a bunch of stills. Eddie Belfour's Kentucky Still Tour.
Well, and then there's one other thing. I totally up to you guys. We missed last week. There's a huge story in the world of baseball. Here's my question: do we even want to get into it? Because I get the feeling that baseball wants this story to go away, but I also get the feeling, especially since I'm reading articles saying that the government is wanting to hold congressional hearings about this.
Oh, about the cheating?
That this ain't going away anytime soon.
Congressional hearings? Really? Really, Congress? We don't have other things to do?
Hey, anytime anything to do with baseball.
Hearings to do? Presidents to get rid of? Shit
exactly.
Like that?
Wow. Really? We're going to waste taxpayer time and money on shit that we already know happened?
When it first came up, I told you guys, I'm like, don't be surprised if this shit doesn't end up in some sort of like congressional hearing situation. Because that's just, for whatever reason, that's how baseball seems to work. It seems to be the sport that gets dragged in front of our fucking incompetent ass politicians more than any other sport. And I mean, believe me, right now, when you have politicians who, are sitting here going, oh shit, if I do one thing wrong and vote the wrong way about this situation that the impeachment situation, that could cost me my entire career. They're looking for anything to distract the masses. And baseball, believe me, baseball wants you to forget about this by the time pitchers and catchers report.
Which isn't.
Yeah, it's America's favorite pastime, right?
I will say this to Congress. Okay, what's your end game? You have a congressional hearing. What's the end game? Like, ooh, look, we did something. We had a hearing about it. Like, we got better shit to do. No, absolutely not. Like, I will vote out any congressman in Michigan that participates in that.
As I keep reading and keep watching, though, this thing is
state taxes.
Right. This is still blowing up, so it can't go away, Rich. It went from Houston to the Red Sox. I heard a couple of other teams had some issues with it. Yeah, this ain't going away for a while.
No, here's the main issue. Players have a union. Coaches, general managers don't. Okay? The league basically set the precedent by going, take out a general manager, take out a head coach for a year. The team stepped in. We can top it. They're gone for good.
Well, I heard too that they were offering immunity to players for information. Like, nothing will happen to you. Just tell us what happened.
Well, look how long it took to get the players' union to bend at all with PEDs. And, I mean, that's the players' union job. And MLB does have a union that will fight for them. They don't just bend over like the NFL's Players Association does. They will go to the mat for them. And if baseball wants this to disappear, they need to get this done and over with as quick as possible. Because this is really bad. I mean, this is really bad. And it's not the fact that they're stealing signs. Stealing signs is part of baseball. We've talked about that before. It's the fact that it was done like it was done, and the team that did it was as successful as they were.
Yeah, they were dominant, and they won the whole thing that year. Yeah, that's...
Because now you have reporters going to Dodgers players saying, if they vacate the championship for Houston, would you want that championship? And they're like, I don't want that's tainted championship. I don't want that. You know what I want? I want to face. You had former Dodgers pitchers come out and say, I'd rather face guys who I know are juiced up than guys who know what pitch is coming.
Damn.
That's, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I've watched YouTube videos of playoff games, of World Series games with the Astros. You can clearly hear them hitting that garbage can when certain players are up at bat. Once you know what to listen for, and once you know the pattern and the code, it's clear as day, man. And there is no maybe they cheated. No, they cheated.
Hey, they flat out cheated.
That footage that they came up with after the World Series when Altuve runs off the field, runs into his dugout, changes his shirt, and then comes back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's damning as hell.
Yeah, he didn't want people tugging at his shirt.
Yeah, this is That's why I said this. No matter what, this is bad for baseball.
I think they got to vacate that World Series. Whether or not they give it to the other team, I think they got to vacate. They got. I think that's how they fix it. They just go, this is a tainted championship. Nobody won that year.
Well, it's like I said before. This isn't done blowing up. Other teams, other players on other teams, other coaches, etc. It's still going. It's still going. We haven't seen the end of the line of what happened and who cheated and who helped and who knew.
You're right. Because
we haven't seen the end of the line
yet. I can tell you, as dominant as the Dodgers were for a couple of years, if I'm Major League Baseball, I might be taking a look at them too. Just because for 2 seasons you could do no wrong in the AL West.
And I'm saying, though, you got to figure out the end of the line, and then you figure out the punishment. Then you figure out who and what and how. But you got to get to the end of the rope. You got to get to all the facts, and they keep coming daily. When I said that this isn't done the first time, I didn't know how big this actually was. Man, this is all over.
Well, yeah, Carlos Beltran lost his job as the Mets. He had the job as Mets manager for 5 minutes, and it turns out he was one of the players involved in it in Houston. Nope, see ya. We don't want you anywhere near our fucking clubhouse.
That's what I'm saying, man. It just keeps coming, and I'm like, good God, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just former players who are now entering managerial positions. It's also Hall of Fame managers. I mean, you know, Roger McDowell comes out and goes, Tony La Russa did this with the White Sox back in the day. See, this is nothing new.
I thought that was a bitch move. Hey, yeah, back 30 years ago, this guy did it. Too. Like, really? So where were you 30 years ago? I thought that was piling on.
But to me, that's no different than forgive me, I can't remember the player's name, but the player that came out who said, we were trying to steal signs in Little League. Like, stealing signs is part of the game. It's the way they were doing it. You know, if your catcher is putting his signs down or not mixing up his signs to the point where the other team can steal them, that's on that catcher.
Right.
That's the way it's looked at in baseball.
And if the pitcher is tipping his elbow before he throws a curve,
yes, but you've seen Mr. 3000. We went over this last time we talked about it.
I'm just saying, if the pitcher tips his pitch, that's one thing. To do it in game, every pitcher, no matter what, yeah, that's cheating.
Well, I can't remember once again because I watched so much YouTube videos of this in the last week or so, and we were supposed to record last week, but we had a personnel snafu with scheduling, and we were going to have Todd on. And I'm pretty sure Todd could tell you the name of every single person, and I'm forgetting their name, but there was a pitcher who was pitching against the Astros, and I think it was around the fifth inning, he started picking up that every time he was throwing a certain pitch, he was hearing them banging on something from the dugout. And that's when he called the catcher out. And he kept calling the catcher out that half inning to change up the signs. But, of course, baseball's cut down on how many visits to the mound you can make, which kind of worked in the favor of the team that's stealing the pitches or stealing the signs and relaying it to their batters. So it's what I'm saying. It's a perfect storm of horse shit. Baseball can't get out of its own fucking way is what the problem is here. I mean, it seems like every 15 years there's some fucking scandal that just sets the sport back for all the ground they've gained. You had the strike where they lost the World Series. You had the PED bullshit in the 2000s. Now you got this. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, what next? They're sacrificing goats in the fucking locker rooms and shit?
Well, my prediction is...
You know what's funny to me, though, Rich?
We revisit the Pete Rose era since gambling's now legal. That's my prediction on the next scandal.
Here's something that's funny to me. It is America's game. Because through everything you just said, Rich, everybody was like, oh, that's fucked up. That's messed up. Oh, that's terrible. All right, let's go to the game. Whenever something breaks in the NFL... it's the end-all, be-all. The world is ending. Spygate, Deflategate.
Yeah, but
kneeling for the flag. Let's protest. We're not going to the games. We're walking out at halftime.
Yeah, but
I'm never.
The receipts. NFL is America's pastime. If you look at the receipts.
But I'm saying though, when something breaks in MLB, people are like, "Oh, that's horrible." Why? Why would you? Oh, that's terrible. Let's go to the game. Now, in the NFL, they do everything they can to protest the shit. Turn it up.
That argument holds water if attendance wasn't up significantly this year, dude.
Oh, for the fuck's sake, Mr. Stats, hush.
What? You're trying to tell a story that isn't there, man.
I'm telling you the story the people are telling. When you go to social media and out in the world, whether they actually or not do it, they're saying they are. We're not watching TV. We're not going to the game. We're going to walk out at halftime.
Half of those people, it's all bullshit. And how many times we have to cover that? Most of those people aren't watching football anyway.
Right. But people, when it breaks in the MLB, people don't really give a fuck. They're like, oh.
Yeah, because it's baseball. Because nobody fucking watches it anymore. Just look at the numbers.
Baseball attendance has been going gate numbers have been going down the last handful of years. Baseball is making more money through television contracts than they are at gates unless you're certain teams. I mean, that's just a fact. Baseball is quickly becoming one of the few sports that people they would rather watch at home than go see live.
That's because it's not good enough live to spend that much money.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude. Why would I pay fucking $100 for 2 tickets? $40 for parking, $12 a beer, and $6 a hot dog to go see the Detroit Tigers? That's the product you're putting on the field for all that? Yeah, I don't think so. No, thank you. I'm good on that. Like I said, when I went, it was $5 a game. That was a good value.
Even at 0-16, the Lions were selling out games, man. Even the season where they didn't win a damn game, they were still selling out games.
That's because Ford was buying and giving out the tickets.
Baseball can lie to itself all it wants, but the receipts say football is now America's pastime.
Oh my God! Can we just get Ice? Can we get him a job working for like CNN or Fox, because he doesn't report stories; he writes narratives. He decides what narrative angle he's going to come from, and then he just pushes that, and he does not relent. So, dude, you missed your calling. Go write for a news network somewhere. You did, and the minute someone brings up facts, oh, shut up with them stats. What do I care about what the actual numbers at the gate is when we're talking about attendance? I'm talking about how I feel. Fucking Jesus, dude. God.
There's a future for you at the New York Times. That's what Rich is saying. But anyway.
Well, needless to say, I don't think this is going to be the end of it unless some money exchanges hands behind the scenes and the right people get paid. I just don't see how this doesn't end up getting... It's an election year. Some fucking douchebag politician's going to try to make a run at re-election or defeating an incumbent opponent off of this garbage. You know it. Because that's the way this fucking country works.
Yeah, we're going to waste taxpayer time and money for a committee to go, you shouldn't have done that. That's bad. Because what can they really fucking do? It's all, you're right, it's all grandstanding. It's all I'm helping so that the voters remember in 2020 who did something. Meanwhile, you bring up a real issue where, there's piles of shit on the street in San Francisco, but, let's do this.
Well, also, let's be honest, baseball culture is steeped in petty.
Yeah.
Case in point, who just got elected to the Hall of Fame? Derek Jeter. One person refused to vote for him because no one goes in unanimously except for Mariano Rivera. Nobody.
Yeah,
really?
I think it's time for it's time for someone else to vote for the Hall of Fame. Because fuck the writers. Yeah, because it's what? Nobody goes in unanimously. No one goes in unanimously their first time. Or what's it? No one goes in their first time. All their stupid bullshit. And there's some people they're keeping out that should be in because it's... I think it's time for we need to find another way to vote people in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose has got to go in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying.
Dude, there's people... I mean, okay, take Pete Rose out of it because he did admit he bet on baseball. Whatever. Okay? Take anyone who has the cloud of PED use and steroid use hanging over them out of the equation. Fine. There are still people that aren't in the Hall of Fame because writers didn't like them.
Again, local example. Alan Trammell's in, Lou Whitaker is not. What the fuck?
And Lou Whitaker, by all these new sabermetrics that all these new baseball writers say is what we should be going by. Fuck the shit the stats we grew up with. It's these new stats that we should be going by. By those stats, he's one of the best second basemen not in the Hall of Fame, if not the best. So,
but what? Because he didn't give an interview or two after a game, we're going to hold a grudge against him 30 years later? Makes a lot of fucking sense.
Is Curt Schilling in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Oh, he won't go in. I think his politics
because of his views.
Yeah, I think his politics will keep him out. Absolutely,
100%.
The man with the bleeding ankle that won the World Series, he can't get in
unless they have he dies and X amount of years go by and they have a real veterans committee and they put him in posthumously. I don't think he'll go. I don't think he'll ever go in while he's alive. I can't see it.
What we're saying, Kurt, is hop in a chopper.
Dang, that's cold.
My bad.
Pull a Thurman Munson.
Yeah. Ooh. Burned to death.
Wow. But no, you're absolutely right. And whether you agree with the man's politics or not, that's not what you're trying to put him in the. You're not putting him in the Hall of Fame because of his politics. Okay, there are plenty of racist and horrible murderers, alcoholics, drug addicts, child molesters, wife beaters, child beaters in the Hall of Fame. You're putting them in there for what they did between the lines on the field. Okay, this isn't the upstanding citizen Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know what's fucked up too? Isn't his bloody sock in the Hall of Fame, but he isn't?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked. No, that's fucked.
Bloody sock, good enough. Actual player, not good enough. Sure, baseball writers, sure. Whatever you say.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, personally, like I said, I think Jeter handled it perfectly. He was like, well, hey, that's nice. I guess someone just felt like I shouldn't go in on my first go round, on my first ballot. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Jeter handled it like Jeter's always handled shit. He's not going to sweat the shit. Why? Because he's Derek Jeter.
And then he goes, look at my team photo. I'll be okay.
Exactly. He's like, my balls still smell like Minka Kelly's mouth. I'm good. Okay? All right? You know, so... But to me, if you let too many people in, like when we had Todd on, we were talking about the Baseball Hall of Fame versus the Football Hall of Fame. Todd feels Football Hall of Fame, they let anybody in. So that invalidates it. Well, if you have petty reasons that are not on-field issues to keep people out of the Hall of Fame, then that invalidates the Hall of Fame. So to me, it's just like, this isn't the Hall of Fame. This is the Hall of who was nicest to the reporters and who was popular among the press pool. That's what this really is.
And it's bullshit.
Hall of the popular.
Yeah, it's like fucking elections in high school. It's essentially what it is. Did everybody like you? Cool, you get to be in our club. The fuck out of here. It should be based on your performance.
Well, and that's what I've always thought. Like, to me, the perfect mentality for a player is the only stat he cares about while he's playing in his career. The day-to-day stat is that W.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I care about. I don't give a fuck about my batting average. I don't give a fuck about my home runs, my RBI, stolen bases. Did we win? Did I help them win? Good. That's the only stats that matter to me. When I'm retired, then I'll look at my legacy, my stats as a whole. Then I'll worry about those. The only thing I worry about right now is collecting championship trophies. That's it. That's the players I want. And to me, I think near the end of his career, Jeter was, that 3,000 hit type shit. Like he was wanting it. But I mean, if you get that close to it, I can't begrudge you from wanting it. But to me, Jeter, he wasn't a stats whore. I don't remember him being in the press talking about, I got this many hits and I'm batting this season. My fielding percentage is this. No, he was in there talking about, we're the New York Yankees. We're here to do one thing, win world championships. That's it. That's the stat we care about. And if you don't feel that way, you need to get out of New York.
He's the MLB Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's fair. Just win, baby.
Hey.
Win, baby, win. Yep.
You know what, though? Yeah. They, of all people, Howard Stern ran through his fucking team photo. And there was women I've forgotten. I was like, yo. He had Jessica Biel and Alba and Scarlett Johansson.
Damn.
And Minka Kelly.
Whoa.
And Jordana Brewster.
Jesus.
And I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. Like, he's married to a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, but he had like 4 of them whose names I can't remember. But if I could, you'd be like, I remember them. I remember her. I remember her. Like, dude was just running through it, dude. Running through it.
Doesn't he have STD, though?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, allegedly he has herpes.
Yeah, all right, great, wonderful. 80% of the population walks around with the herpes virus in their body. If you've had chicken pox, you have the herpes virus. It might be dormant. Herpes ain't nothing but a skin knee to a skateboarder. You're a participant in life, not a spectator, okay?
Wow.
Just meant you were there.
Hey, you know what? Not bad for a boy from Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's what I always find gets lost about him. Jeter's a Michigan boy.
Yeah, West Michigan. Represent. Shit.
Really brought up. When I lived out in Kalamazoo, every once in a while he would come into one of the bars that my girlfriend at the time worked at because he knew the bartender because they went to school together. So I'm sure Jeets would come back home and just, knock the dust off some top shelf Kalamazoo ass before he went back to New York. Where's the hottest chick in this bar? I'm fucking her. And I'm going back to New York. All right.
Yeah. And on that note.
Yeah. That's a great note to end it on. Derek Jeter calling a shot.
Yeah. That's the best we got to end the show.
What?
Fucking some Western co-ed in a fucking coat room in some bar in Battle Creek.
Right. Anyways, thanks everybody who listens. Check us out on Spotify. Apparently on Spotify, people like us. I'm not complaining. So thank you everyone who listens to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker.com, Google Podcasts. I'm trying to forget something. ChristopherMedia.net. But everybody who listens, thank you. If you like it, share it, tell people about it, because that's how this thing works. There is a donate button on ChristopherMedia.net. There's an Amazon banner. All that happy horse shit. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, yo.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.